Astrologically, this month we have Saturn, the teacher of karmic lessons, turning back to direct motion. And we have a lot of the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, all shifting into new signs of the zodiac. All of this, including an empowered moment and more, in my November monthly intuitive astrology empowered moments reading. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from sacredsoulempowerment.com, and we're here to do November's monthly intuitive reading. So we're going to take a little bit of a look first at the numerology vibration for the month, the astrological transits of significance. We are going to look at the message for the collective, and that's going to be coming from the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha. And then we'll look at a special message card depending on your stone of choice, and that's going to come from the Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians Oracle deck by Sophia Bashford. So can't wait to see what that's all about. Before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and do an empowered moment. So if you go ahead and close your eyes where you're sitting or reclining or even lying down, take a couple of deep breaths, relax your body, and clear your mind of all thoughts. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you're surrounded in beautiful golden white light. And whether you're seeing or sensing, feeling, or just knowing that you're surrounded in this etheric golden white light, this is the light of protection, healing, and guidance of God's source energy, universe, great spirit, all that is. I want you to take a deep breath and breathe that in deeply into every cell of your body. And as you exhale, letting your body relax even more and imagining a grounding cord coming out of your root chakra and going down deep through the layers of Earth, Mother Gaia, and connecting to her crystalline heart chakra in the center of the earth. And this time as you breathe in, you're going to breathe in and up through that grounding cord. Earth, Mother Gaia is unconditionally loving, healing, mothering elixir of energy and light. Breathing it all the way up through your grounding cord. And as you exhale, it's being dispersed throughout all of your chakras and energy bodies, allowing that to merge with the etheric golden white light so that you're connected as above and so below. And this month we have Saturn, known in astrology as Lord of Karma. He's the great teacher of karmic lessons. He's here to teach us responsibility. And he's here to help us restructure our lives in some particular area. And this month we start with Saturn slowing down to a standstill. And as for the last couple of weeks he's been slowing down, you might have noticed that it's been bringing up within you certain fears or doubts, anxieties, and insecurities that you've been playing out through circumstances, situations, and even relationships, certain karmic lessons from the past. Maybe you've been having some purging, healing, clearing dreams at night. All of this and more is Saturn's way of wanting us to learn something, to acknowledge something, to find the hidden nugget or gem of wisdom within it all. Saturn asks that we take responsibility for our lives, ourselves, and our healing path, our healing journey, and that we restructure our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies, and perhaps restructure our lives and relationships, maybe even our career or our finances. So consider for a moment, what karmic lessons has Saturn been bringing up for you over these last couple of weeks and perhaps the last couple of months or more as he's been retrograde? Where is Saturn asking you to take responsibility, to be secure within yourself? So breathe in that intention with the potential for all of the answers to those questions to come to you in divine timing. Maybe you already received some answers, or maybe in the days to come through your dreams or waking time and situations within relationships or circumstances, Saturn will give you those hidden gems or nuggets of wisdom. So breathe in deeply that intention into every cell of your body. And as you exhale and in your own time, you can open your eyes, returning to this time and place and space. And getting ready to look at our stones of choice for the special message card a little bit later. So the first stone is called Prehnite. Isn't it a beautiful, like dark, yummy green color? It's like a color of emerald or green grass of Ireland, or just this beautiful kind of heart chakra color energy. And Prehnite is known as the crystal to heal the healer. So if you're a healer in some capacity out there, through hands-on healing or through words of wisdom or education, this is a stone to heal the healer. It's known as a stone of unconditional love. It helps to balance our emotions and our emotional body. And it also does help us with communication with other planes, higher planes of existence. So again, that's the Prehnite. The second stone of choice, this is a long word here, but this is called Sonora Sunrise Sunset Chrysocolla. It's also known as Crimson Cuprite. And you can see that the chrysocolla is the blue color, which of course relates to the throat chakra. The crimson color, the red color through there, is the sunrise sunset part of the chrysocolla. And it can relate to the root chakra, but is known to relate to the heart chakra. So this is a stone that helps with empowerment, connection to goddess energies, confidence, clear communication, wisdom, creativity, alchemy, and harnessing one's inner power. Okay, and then the last stone of choice is this beautiful Herkimer diamond. Yes, this is a great big Herkimer diamond. And if any of you know about Herkimer diamonds, you can get a little teeny tiny one, and they're very, very expensive. And I just happened to come upon this. I don't even remember where, but I came upon this huge Herkimer diamond. I mean, it fits in the palm of my hand because that's a pretty big one. And it was a very, very good price. And this helps to heighten our psychic vision, our telepathic communication. It helps to increase or magnify astral travel, shamanic journey experiences, and in fact, it does magnify energies of other crystals and stones, or if you use it for intention work, it's going to magnify the energy of your intentions. It's sort of like clear quartz in that way, because clear quartz, which looks very much like the Herkimer diamond, except for the Herkimer diamond has those points on it specifically. It's a specific shape. And it can magnify energy just like a clear quartz can. So again, our stones of choice are the Prehnite, and the back of the Prehnite is also green, but it's just a lighter color. And then we've got the Sonora Sunrise Sunset Chrysocolla, It's got the red going through it. And then we've got the Herkimer diamond. Okay. So as you think about that, let's go ahead and talk about the numerology for this month. So we just came out of October with 2 eclipses, right? A new moon solar eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse. And that was going to activate endings and new beginnings that are going to be active in our life for the weeks to come. Now, as we move into November, we're moving into an 18 universal month vibration. So how do we get that? 2023, if you add those digits together, give us a 7 vibration for the year, known as the 7 universal year vibration for the collective. We take that number 7 and we add it to the month in question. And November is the 11th month. So we add 11 and 7, we get an 18. Now, in numerology, we reduce things down to a single digit unless it's a karmic number or master number, and 18 is neither of those. So if we add the 1 and the 8 together, we get a 9. This is the last of the single digits. And so this is telling us that in this month of November, we're in a completion phase. It's a month of endings, healing, completion, releasing, letting go, surrender, a need to have trust and faith, all of the things that we connect to the number 9 in numerology. It's also a very humanitarian vibration. It's humanitarian in nature, it's creative in nature, it's service to other people. What can I do to help? It's got that vibration at all as well. It's a very beautiful vibration, but again, we're dealing with endings and the completion of a phase of life. And not surprising that it comes after a month of eclipses. So you can expect that some things will start to fade away from your life or be redirected away from your life. And not just with situations and circumstances, but also with your own mindset and your own belief systems, your own thought processes, old emotions that you've been carrying around for a while, maybe for lifetimes, that have come up basically either through dreams or through waking times to be purged, released, transmuted, and let go. Now, I do like to look at the double digit, right? I know that some of you that have watched my videos know that I always liken it to one of the major arcana in the tarot. And the number 18 major arcana is the moon. In this deck of the Syrian Starseed Tarot, it's known as Luna. But again, the moon is, you can see the waves of emotion, the waves of feeling starting to crescendo. And again, that lunar eclipse that we just had was on October 28th. So we just had that lunar eclipse activating our emotional body energy. And that's really what Luna is all about here. You can see the full moon here. You can see that there's it's a nighttime scene. So we're talking about the nighttime, the darkness, the shadows, the mystery. It's also about intuition. So with the moon card, our intuitions are heightened, our emotional feelings are magnified, our emotional reactions maybe are magnified as well. This tells us to move through a healing process. Our healing abilities for ourselves as well as others is also magnified. You know, kind of couple that with our intuition being magnified, it's going to make for some great healing. This is about subconscious healing. The moon often rules our subconscious or unconscious, what lies beneath the surface of our psyche and the emotional realm. All of this is going to be a focus of energy throughout the month, especially in the first half of the month when we're still in Scorpio energies, before we start to slowly transition the second half of the month into more of the Sagittarius energies. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So get ready for some emotional stuff to come up. And also be aware, again, that your clairpsychicness, your clairaudience, your clairsentience, your clairvoyance, and your claircognizance, all of your clairs are going to be heightened at this time. So let's talk a little bit about the astrology, the highlighted astrology for the month. The first thing we're going to talk about is that Saturn, what we did the meditation on, because on November 4th, Saturn, called Lord of Karma, great teacher of Karmic Lessons, is turning back to direct motion at 0 degrees of Pisces. Saturn went all the way up to 7 degrees of Pisces before it turned retrograde. It retrograded all the way back to the very first degree of Pisces. So the 0 degree point is known as a critical degree in astrology. And I'd say, since this happens early in the month, this transitioning or shifting back to direct motion at 0 degrees on the 4th of November, probably for the last, I'd say the second half of October, we've been feeling a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of karmic and past life and shadow energies, insecurities, fears, doubts, anxieties. And some of it you might know what it's related to. Some of it you might have no idea what it's related to. You could be having, some panic attacks. You could be having some sleeplessness. You want to sleep a lot. You're very tired, but yet you're waking up or you can't sleep. It's a very interesting energy. Saturn is a heavy planet. The energy it rules the third dimensional reality that we live in. So it's considered more of that heavy vibration because it rules the third dimension. And when it slows down like it has been, it gets heavier and heavier. So we feel more sometimes burdened by certain circumstances in our lives. We feel, again, more physically tired, or we have things with our physical body that might be happening. Now, the fact that it's in Pisces is the spiritual sign of the zodiac. It rules the spiritual realm and the other dimensions and our past lives, right? Which, Pisces is this lack of boundaries of time and space kind of thing, but Saturn rules concrete boundaries and concrete time and space. So it's an interesting place for Saturn to be in the sign of Pisces. So again, it's bringing up this past life stuff, this karmic contracts that we have with other people, and we're going through a huge karmic cleansing. And I definitely think that the October eclipses magnified this karmic clearing, but we're still in it, because again, for the weeks and maybe even the next 2 or 3 months to come, we've got the effects of the eclipses still unfolding for us. So that's going to be an interesting time. And with Saturn turning direct, you can give it a few more days after that too to really feel the magnified effects. It's going to take actually a long while for Saturn to pick up speed and start moving at his regular pace. But know here that we're going to start to come on the other side of this karmic cleansing or clearing of old contracts and old ways of thinking and believing, old situations that maybe we've lived again and again and again, either in this lifetime or other lifetimes. And it's now time to take responsibility. Saturn's about responsibility. So it's like, where do I need to change? Where do I need to have better boundaries? Where do I need to feel more secure within myself? And be strong and find that inner wisdom within myself, because Saturn can be about this higher inner wisdom. He's kind of like the wise sage, the wise teacher. So go within and find those answers. Then we're going to look at the 8th of November, and this is when Venus, the planet that rules love and relationships, but she also rules money and finances, values, and self-value. She's going to be coming out of Virgo, where she was very discerning and perfectionistic, and looking at all the little pieces. Now she's going into her home sign of Libra on the 8th. She's going to be in Libra until December 4th. So there is going to be a focus for the divine feminine here on balance and justice and harmony and equality in all kinds of partnership matters. And when it comes to money and finances, again, she's looking for the karmic scales of justice to kind of be rebalanced. The next day, on the 9th of November, we've got Mercury, planet of the mental realm, ruling thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications. And Mercury is going to be moving into Sagittarius. So leaving Scorpio energy behind for Mercury and moving into light, bright, optimistic, look to the future and expand our perception kind of Sagittarius. Mercury is going to be there until December 1st. And then Mercury is going to revisit Sagittarius from December 23rd until January 14th because of a retrograde motion that we'll be going into, not this month, but next month in December. Then on the 13th, we've got a new moon at 20 degrees of Scorpio. So both the sun and the moon are at 20 degrees of Scorpio, signifying some sort of new beginning on this deep, emotionally perceptive, psychological realm of Scorpio. So a new beginning also in our sense of personal power, because Scorpio rules empowerment versus disempowerment. It can be about power and control issues, but we're going to say new beginnings and owning our power again, taking back our power. And some of that can be from some of that past life Saturn retrograde stuff that we needed to karmically clear. Then on the 22nd, the sun moves into Sagittarius. So now the sun is leaving behind Scorpio and joining Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, where it's going to be until the 22nd of December. That's his monthly cycle for the sun. Then on the 24th, 2 days later, Mars the warrior, planet of energy, action, and forward movement, is leaving Scorpio behind and moving into Sagittarius, where he's going to be until December 4th. So he's going to jet right along here through that sign. But now we've got, by the 24th, the Sun and Mercury and Mars all in Sagittarius, which is going to be a lighter energy. You're going to really start to feel that incremental transition into something brighter and more expansive. The one thing I will say, though, is that when Mercury goes into Sagittarius, it's going to be challenging Saturn. When the sun goes into Sagittarius, the next day or two, it's going to be challenging Saturn, and the same with Mars. Mars is going to be challenging Saturn as soon as it goes into Sagittarius as well. And Saturn can like limit and restrict and bring feelings of insecurity and bring delays and things like that. But it's only going to last for each of those planets a couple of days. And then on the 27th, we've got a full moon at 4 degrees of Gemini. So full moon is a cycle of releasing, completion, and healing. This is in the sign of Gemini. So the sun is in Sagittarius, the opposite sign, while the moon is in Gemini. This is very much about information, messages, speaking, teaching, writing, communication of all kinds. And so look to our interactions with others and to expand your network with others and to receive messages not just from universal and spiritual sources, but I want to say too from other people as well. So that is a little bit about the astrology that of importance, I'd say, for the month. If you want to have a more detailed forecast, make sure to watch my weekly readings on YouTube. So let's go ahead and take a look at what messages we have from our angels and guides. So let's turn over the first card here. And, okay, so we start the month, or the month's reading, with Major Arcana 15. This is called the Shadow. Not really that surprising, given that Saturn, right, on November 4th, is turning back to direct motion. So it's kind of stagnant, standing still for a few days, a couple weeks before, or even more than that, or a couple weeks after. It's still moving very slowly and still bringing up our fears and anxieties and, you know, maybe even some depressive tendencies, feelings of insecurity, restriction, all of that. And you can see here this web, you know, we've got actually what looks like a couple here behind this web. I'm going to call it a web of illusion, but it's this kind of shadowy web where we're kind of stuck, you know. An actual spider web has that stickiness to it, which is how it catches its prey, right? So I want to say we might get stuck in the muck. We might get stuck in that sticky kind of shadowy energy just for a short time, at least the first half of the month, where we're again trying to clear out some old karma. We're trying to release and let go some of the old karmic belief systems, thoughts, emotions, feelings, circumstances, situations that we've been carrying within our energy field. Now, Major Arcana 15 in the traditional tarot deck is known as the Devil card. And this is just, again, about fears and anxieties and insecurities, but it's usually of our own mind's making. In other words, it's not real. Like the darkness, here, metaphorically speaking, the darkness isn't real. Just flip on the light switch. There you go, right? We don't have to walk through the spider web. We can actually walk around it. Although I want to say we don't want to walk around and avoid the karmic lessons that are coming up. We do want to move through them. So know that even if you walk through the spider web and walk through the stickiness, you're going to get to the other side. It's not going to completely stop you, right? It's not a solid this web is not solid. In other words, you're going to be able to move through it. So the Devil card is just, again, the fears that our human mind kind of creates to stop us, to make us feel small, to make us feel like we, don't have the strength or the wisdom or the confidence to move forward in some way, shape, or form in our life. That's all the shadow stuff. So let's start out the month by really focusing on moving through the shadow energies to be able to get to the other side. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the second card here. The second card, this is the Master of Chalices. This is like the King of Cups in the traditional tarot. Now, the king is the master of the realm, right? Here we've got cups, chalices, that's the emotional realm. It's our feelings. It's our emotions, emotional body, emotional interactions with others. Relationships fall under that because it's about emotional connections. So here we're taking charge as the Master or King of Cups. We're taking charge of the emotional body. We're taking charge of our emotions and our emotional reactions. We're taking charge of our emotional body healing, moving through some of these karmic lessons. And I love this picture because it's two eyes in the sky. Here's the water, right? Cups is the water suit. But it's like we've got deeper perceptions. We've got heightened intuition, just like I was talking about earlier with that number 9, which is the numerology vibration for this month. It's heightened intuition. It's heightened emotions, but it can be in a good place, right? This is about really, again, if it was like the page or the knight, I'd say we were going to have emotional ups and downs and turmoils. But the master, the king, he starts to be more stable and secure. So I feel like once we move through this, we're going to have more stability and security. We're going to have more emotional depth. We're going to have better emotional connections, maybe with friends and family and loved ones. We're going to be able to see our own kind of lessons or shadows to move through them. Maybe we'll be able to see and perceive other people's lessons and shadows and understand where they're coming from a little bit better. But definitely psychic and intuition are going to be heightened with the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups can also be about a romantic relationship. It can be about meeting someone new, or it can be about deepening a relationship. And the words that are coming in are stability and security, because that would be the king. So the relationships that we're in can become more stable and secure. Now, not in all cases necessarily, because if there are some karmic lessons, and it depends on the other person where they're at, we might have to move through and possibly release and let go, which again is that number 9 numerology energy for the month of what we currently have. But this could actually be bringing in someone new. And it doesn't necessarily even mean romantically. This could be about bringing in a new friend, a new collaboration with somebody that you feel really emotionally connected to. And it doesn't even have to be masculine in nature, which is usually what we think of as the king. It just means, that there's a very independent, strong, and confident energy with whoever this might be. But they're also very in tune with the feminine, the emotions, the feelings, and the intuition as well. And the last card came out as 2 cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first of those 2 cards. Okay, we've got another major arcana. This is major arcana 14. In this deck, it's called Alchemy. And in the traditional tarot, this is the Temperance card. So the Temperance card is all about patience, balance, and moderation as we're moving through an energy or a situation. So here we're transitioning this month from Scorpio energies, which has been very deep and a lot of processing and, a lot of, again, old emotional, psychological kind of dynamics with that Scorpio. Scorpio is about hidden energies, the hidden energies within ourselves that need to be discovered or need to be illuminated by the light. So we're transitioning from that Scorpio energy into fire sign Sagittarius. This makes me feel of like fire sign Sagittarius, lighter, brighter, more expansive, more exciting, more adventurous, more risk-taking. And the word alchemy for this card, instead of calling it temperance, brings in the idea that we're, again, changing an element of energy into something new and something different. When we alchemize something, right, we're like changing lead into gold. We're changing water into wine, right? We're changing what it currently is, whatever the state of energy is, and we're going to alchemize and change it to something, you could say almost better, something better, or just say different. And so here we've got, to me too, transmutation by fire. We're transmuting some of this energy, right? We're going to transmute this energy, which is kind of burning it away with this fire or flame of transmutation, so that it again alchemizes, it changes into something lighter, brighter, and different. So this to me is a good sign as we're moving into the sign of Sagittarius. I don't know why, but this almost looks like a dragon egg. I don't know why I'm thinking of like a dragon egg. And so some of you might have like dragon guides. Dragons breathe fire. Dragons, can have that magical alchemizing kind of feeling too. So maybe call in your dragon guide to assist you with balance, patience, and moderation of the Temperance card to alchemize or change the energy of your current circumstances or way of being or feeling within. Let's see what came out with this card. Oh, I love this. Love this. It's the Ace of Flames. So we got more fire, which again, Sagittarius is that fire sign. So again, on the 9th, Mercury is going into Sagittarius, and on the 22nd, the Sun is going into Sagittarius. On the 24th, Mars is going into Sagittarius. So this is a new beginning. Aces are the new beginning of, or the birth of, a new spiritual energy. The flames or the fire is wands in the traditional tarot. So this is a new beginning on a spiritual level. So we're definitely kind of transitioning here into something new. And I feel like as we go into December, just a little sneak peek ahead of time here, December is going to be a one universal month for the collective. And ones are about new beginnings. And so this comes right at the end of this month. So we're preparing and getting ready for this activation. To me, fire, flames, wands is really an activating kind of force. All of the aces are activating, but this one to me is hot, fast, and furious. So we're activating something really good here as we get towards the end of the month. So stay in a place of faith and trust there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the special message card depending on your stone of choice. So that first stone of choice was for pre-night people, right? So those of you that chose pre-night, special message for the month of November for the pre-night people. Okay, this one's calling my attention. Oh, I don't know if I can say this. Asclepios. Asclepios with sacred medicine. And here we've got, to me, the snake energy is very Scorpio. So I want to say it's especially important for the pre-night people. And of course, pre-night is the healing stone for healers, right? And we got sacred medicine. I feel like you're going through a death and a rebirth and a transformation, because the totem of the snake is about death and rebirth and renewal and transformation and regeneration and transmutation. So allow that to be your sacred medicine, and however you need to do it, whether it's through your own meditations or journaling, or if you're going out and getting any Reiki energy work or shamanic energy work or hypnotherapy energy work, I feel like, especially for the first month here, you're going through a lot of healing, which is going to be very, very good for you. So Asclepios, I guess you can call in him to also assist. They're also talking about using things like essential oils and flower essences and herbal concoctions, which sounds more mysterious than it is, right? You could go to the health food store and get different liquid herbs for different things or whatever. Even using like incense, different incense and ceremony. So they're talking about using it all, using the whole shebang here as you're moving through a sacred healing process this month. Okay, let's put that back in case somebody else gets it. And then we've got the Sonora Sunrise Sunset Chrysocolla. Special message for people that shows the Sunrise Sunset Chrysocolla. This one's calling my attention. Ooh, High Priest of Atlantis. Ooh. So this one says chakra healing. So there's healing for this one too. This one is more specific to balancing your chakras and maybe going through each chakra according to what that chakra rules and checking in with yourself about that. Like with the root chakra, it's about stability, security, feeling grounded in yourself, and check in. Do I feel safe? Do I feel secure? Do I feel grounded within myself in who I am? And moving up to the sacral chakra, creative self-expression and sensuality and sexuality and whatnot. Am I embodying this creative energy? This life force creative energy, this creative emotional energy, and checking in with yourself. So go through and do a balancing of the chakras. The High Priest of Atlantis may also be connecting you with your Atlantean brothers and sisters of the light. I like to call them the children of the law of one. And, those were the ones that were more of the light in the Atlantean times, that were more of the priests and priestesses. So not just the high priest, let's say a high priestess as well. And this person's holding crystals in both hands. And I would say you might want to work with crystal healing as well with the chakras. And you can pretty much think of the color of the chakra and then what stone might go with that. Like for the heart chakra, which is green, you'll think of green stones, like maybe emerald or maybe the prehnite, even though prehnite was the message before. Maybe the throat chakra, which is turquoise, you're thinking about chrysocolla, which is the blue part of that stone that you chose. Or just turquoise, or apatite is another kind of blue stone for the throat chakra. So go through and do some crystal healing with yourself as well. All right, and then putting that back in the deck. And then the last stone of choice was the Herkimer diamond. Special message for Herkimer diamond people for the month of November. Herkimer diamond. This one's really calling my attention. Hod. I've never even heard of this person or this master goddess, god, guardian, whatever. Hod, tell the truth. So, it's interesting that, again, the image of Hod, it's very shadowy nighttime, right? It's like, first we have Luna, the moon card that kind of rules the month of November, kind of in the shadowy moonlight. We've got the shadow card, it's got the shadowy sort of darker energy to it. Not in a bad way. Again, it just rules the shadow side with our doubts, fears, and anxieties. And Hod is like here in the shadows. And so it's like he's coming in for you to discover the truth. It does say tell the truth. So you both want to communicate what your truth is to other people instead of holding back. You also want to discover your own inner truth in the shadows, maybe. So like digging down deep into the, shadows of your psyche, your subconscious. what's going on within you, what's going on emotionally within you, what's going on mentally within you. And then discover and be aware of your truth. Don't hide it anymore. Let it come out into the open. He looks very kind of secure and stoic, but not in a bad way. I feel like he's just going to help you to discover the truth and speak your truth and emanate your truth in a way where you feel very secure and stable within yourself. And some of the truth that you might need to communicate to someone else, I feel like you might feel a little challenged in communicating it because you got to be real. Like you really have to be real and express your truth. And it might be a little scary and a little fearful, which is why we got kind of like some of that shadowy energy. But again, just like pushing through that spider web, we're going to push through the spider web and come out the other side. And we're going to push through this need to communicate, whether it's with ourselves or with others. And we're going to be truthful and honest and authentic. All right, everybody, I hope you've all enjoyed the monthly intuitive reading. Again, stay tuned for the weekly readings as well. Sending you all lots of love and light for the month of November and many, many blessings until we see each other again next week or next month. Namaste.